Good evening. It's that time of the year again. Halloween, where we eat insane amounts of candy, watch shitty horror movies, listen to spooky music, and dress up in ghoulish costumes. But we're not doing any of that today. We are talking about metal. Specifically, bands that are going to soothe your Halloween spirit and quench your bloodthirsty desire for heavy shit. So let's not waste any time, and let's get straight into this. And that first band we are talking about today is Eaten Alive from Santiago, Chile. Formed in 2012, they released a handful of demos, EPs, and this is their debut that came out in 2020 on Burning Coffin Records. So what do you get with Eaten Alive? You are getting 7 tracks shy of 40 minutes of pure, putrid, filthy death metal. And how I discovered this band was I was exploring a label and I saw the artwork, and let's talk about the artwork. The artwork here is the first thing that actually caught my attention before I bought this tape, because this is something straight out of a Fulci film or something. It's killer. And the music contained within inside of this is also killer. And with those 40 minutes, you're going to get a lot of intros, horror movie samples, which you come to expect from a release like this. And I also want to talk about the production of this album. The production on here is very nice. The guitars are nice and crunchy. The drums are nice and loud, but a little nitpick issue I got is the bass. It just blends a little bit too much with the guitar, so at times you don't really hear it. But at that, again, I'm just nitpicking. This is seriously an album you want to check out. If you are a fan of Impetigo, Exhumed, and Mortician, this is definitely going to satisfy your lust for horror movie themed death metal. On to the next release. And the next band we're talking about, formed in 1998 in Ontario, Canada, Casket Slime, and their debut album, They Sleep, We Creep. This band actually remained inactive until 2020 as far as I know, the information I've gathered. And this actually contains their first demo as bonus tracks. And they did not skip a beat with releases. They released a demo, EP, and then 3 albums. I believe I have that correct. And this was released on Severed Recordings. What do you get with They Sleep, We Creep? You get 28 tracks, just shy of 40 minutes of pure horror-inspired death grind. I'd also like to talk about the production. The production on here is demo quality, I'd say, almost. The drums, they use a drum machine, and it is the most obvious sounding drum machine you've ever heard. And the guitars sound nice and crunchy, and the vocals are nice, echoey, and repulsive, as you'd think. There's like 3 samples, I believe, thrown in on this record, which is a lot less than I expected going into this. But my only issue with the production is the drum machine at times feels so loud that it kind of just overpowers everything. You can't hear bass. As far as I've heard, you cannot hear bass at all. But like I said, that's always going to be a nitpick. It certainly doesn't affect the quality of this in any capacity, if you ask me. If you are a fan of Mortician, Autopsy, and Exhumed as well, you are definitely going to love this. On to the final band. And last but certainly not least, we got a band from Detroit, Michigan, formed in 2009, and their only release to date. And that band is horrific. And their debut album, Your Worst Nightmare, originally released on Razorback Recordings and then reissued on Hell's Headbangers, I think in 2019. So what do you get with this record right here? You get 11 tracks, 44 minutes of pure 80s heavy metal, death metal, punky thrash worship. The best way to describe this record would be like if Midnight went death metal instead of doing their black and speed metal. And I just think it really mixes well those two genres. Because, I mean, some of the riffs on here are insane. If you would have put some of these riffs in a Motorhead record, even a Judas Priest record, you wouldn't think twice. The production on this record is perfect. The drums sound natural and organic. The vocals are nice and snarly and dirty. The bass is nice and prominent, and the guitars sound nice and crunchy. This features members of Surgikill, who is also the label owner of Razorback Recordings, and Slasher Dave of Acid Witch fame. If you don't know Acid Witch, go check them out. Very disgusting, psychedelic, Halloween, doom metal inspired band. And this album right here is what inspired this episode today, because I absolutely love it. If you are a fan of Motorhead, Judas Priest, Midnight, Venom, Hellripper, you are absolutely going to love this record. Seriously, go check this out. And that'll be it for today. I wanted to experiment a little bit and try a new recording style. I wanted to try and make the videos more compact and as educational as possible, so please let me know in the comments down below what you think of this new style I'm going to try out. And make sure to also support the bands, which will be in the description down below. Thank you guys for watching. Have a safe Halloween. Support underground metal and stay evil.